Hello everyone and welcome to this pick-a-card reading video. In this video we will be dissecting and seeing if you are good with your time. Are you a procrastinator? Could you be spending your time more wisely? Do you need actually more of a break or a rest? Let's just find out and you can see which stack you're most drawn to. So here is stack 1A, stack 2B, stack 3C. You can pause if you like and if you need some more time to figure out which stack you are most drawn to. If you are not drawn to any of the stacks, that's completely fine. This just might not be the pick a card reading video for you. As a reminder, everything I talk about and discuss in this video is for entertainment purposes only and cannot be stated as fact. Alright, let's get into it. Hello 1A and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The tarot cards that were pulled are the Six of Cups upright, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse, the World in reverse, Three of Pentacles upright, and Queen of Swords upright. And then we have, for the Oracle cards, Badger, Perseverance, Dig in and see it through to completion, and 9, Allowance. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. I'm going to say that part again because I emphasized it weird. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. So, there's different readings coming through here. First of all, I think a lot of you are very hard workers and you're very meticulous and you're good at planning. But then I think you tend to potentially overwork yourselves. And also I think this stack can be prone to getting caught up in daydreaming. That's especially what I'm seeing with the first card here. It seems like you get easily distracted. So I think in order for you to use your time wisely and most efficiently, you should probably work in a very quiet environment with minimal distractions. It would be best for you to work without your phone on hand or computer if you're not working on your computer, or make sure that you limit screen time too. I'm hearing like limiting certain time to do stuff. I think doing something like having an alarm on your phone for when you're done with your break would be hello Brittney, very beneficial to you. I think some of you could also, even though you're good at planning, there's also a sense that, whoa, do you hear the ambulance outside? Anyway, but there's also a sense that even though you could be good at planning and you have a lot of ideas, it doesn't seem like, well, it seems like you're good at executing those ideas and those plans, but not in the most efficient way, because it seems like people who chose this stack tend to procrastinate and wait until the last second. It seems like, yeah, you easily get distracted. Let's say you take a break and then you get distracted and then you keep waiting and putting off doing your work or whatnot, or chores or errands, and then it gets to be really late and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to do everything. I think you're really quick. You're really good at once you start going on something. It's like the law of inertia is coming up. An object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion stays in motion. I can relate a lot to you because it's like I get very easily distracted myself. But I see you once you are getting going on something. You keep going and going and going until it's done. But I just see that you easily can get distracted or you can put off and procrastinate doing stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if people who chose this stack have ADD or ADHD. It seems like you're really good at hyperfixating on things. But then when it comes to if you need to take a breather or a break, like it's like you're all or nothing type mentality. So if you're going to put time towards something, you have to do all of it all at once. And you could even be obsessive about it. But then when you take a break or you stop thinking about something, it's like something else entirely completely occupies your mind. And then I think this stack is more prone to burnout because of that as well. With the Three of Pentacles, to me, it was indicating in this stack that you may be better working alongside other people so that other people can hold you accountable. I don't see you being necessarily a leader of a group as much as just other people I can see other people checking in on you like, hey, how are you doing with this? And then you being like, oh yeah, I have to do that. or, oh, okay, I'll start working on this right now. Or if you have to work on something in tandem or alongside, like at the same time, somebody else, I can see that being very beneficial to you as well. I can see you doing good working, actually, even though you get distracted easily. If you can work in a quiet environment, such as specifically a library or maybe like a park somewhere, like a quiet coffee shop during a not busy hour of the day, I see that being a really good environment for you. And I see that being something that's conducive to your productivity. And I think sometimes, even though I did suggest a quiet environment, I think if it's too quiet, a lot of you would probably get anxious from that and even distracted from that. So having minimal sound can be fine, like having lo-fi beats on in the background or vapor waves, synth wave music on in the background, binaural beats, isochronic tones. I can see listening to music, specifically without lyrics though, I see that being helpful for you. Maybe you are fine with lyrics in your music when you're doing stuff, but for me, I personally can't. In terms of like productivity, if you're using your time wisely for productivity in general, I do see you, again, being very hardworking and being on top of things, getting things done. It's just, I think sometimes it feels like you are behind because you procrastinate, and sometimes I think you do run the risk of having too many things pile on all at once, and you have to do so much at once, and then that can lead to burnout and exhaustion. And also you being less likely to want to complete things. But overall, I do see you using your time wisely. I just think you need to, the one piece of advice would be to stop procrastinating and eliminate distractions, because I think it's very easy for you to get distracted. Something I used to do when I was in high school was I would turn my phone off and have it in a completely opposite side of the apartment that I was in, and so that way I wouldn't get distracted by being on my phone if I had to get work done, because it was easy, especially with screens nowadays, they make it so that things like this are, like phones and social media, the companies make it addictive on purpose, right? But some people already are prone to that kind of behavior and that kind of thinking where you get distracted. And yeah, I would also say to not overwork yourself, because then you're not using your time wisely. Overworking yourself doesn't equate to, and working hard all the time doesn't equate to using it wisely, because then you're more likely to do less work in the future if you need more of a break. And if you don't give yourself breaks, then you'll just be completely burnt out, especially if there's like any creative endeavors you have to do or any research you have to do, like anything, really anything. But doing things like that, you'll just be less inspired, you'll be less motivated. So I can see that you fluctuate between being motivated and unmotivated. So eliminate distractions, that will be very helpful. Have people hold you accountable. Also, I see that you're more productive doing things that you enjoy, as opposed to, like, some people are fine and are productive doing anything. I see you being a lot more productive, and also it's a lot less likely that you will procrastinate if you're doing something that you actually enjoy. If you're doing something that you don't enjoy, I see it being a lot more likely you will procrastinate, and also not being as effective with your time, not putting as much effort into whatever you're doing. I will leave the cards there. Let's go to Badgering here. Okay, Badger, perseverance. Dig in and see it through to completion. Don't give up so easily. You're going to have to be more patient and more persistent than you've ever been. The result or answer isn't that far away, but you've just got to hang in there and stay with it. Too often in the past, you've tended to either give up too easily or else try shortcuts through relationships, career, and even your spiritual growth. It's important enough for you to ask the question, then it's just as important that you remain steady in your pursuit of the answer. It doesn't matter if you've got a few inches or several miles to go. That's the thing, too. I think some of you could easily get overwhelmed. And there's something else I wanted to say. Oh, yeah, the shortcuts. The Swords energy is definitely giving shortcuts. Even the world, too, like taking shortcuts. And so I think that could also, even though it seems like it saves time, I think it actually can add time for a lot of you. Or it can just be less effective for whatever it is that you're doing. Like if you're working on something, then it actually won't look as good or be just as good of quality. So be careful with that. Take your time, no need to hurry, and keep your signs on the objective. That's the thing too. I think because some of you procrastinate, even if you don't, there's a sense of urgency when you are completing stuff, so be careful about that as well. You'll have to put your take your time, no need to hurry, and keep your sights on the objective. You'll have to put your feelings and any ambivalence aside for the time being. Indeed, you might even meet some resistance, but don't give up. You really are almost there. But before getting there, first live in the present. It's only from this moment that you can truly proceed on your journey to get wherever you're headed, so go to it. Additional associations: self-reliance, determination, assertiveness, and willingness. And then let's go to the other guidebook. So we have 9, allowance. The allowance image resembles the spirit of the Joker, the Jester, or the Fool. It is the embodiment of the infinite spirit within, the unbounded, fearless essence of expanded possibility, with very little regard for conventionality or rules. Disguised as the Fool, the Jester is oftentimes the bearer of unwanted truth, messages that are feared yet needed for evolution and growth. Allowance is the polar opposite of resistance. Sometimes the things we resist the most are the trials, the hidden treasures that lead to growth and evolution. The allowance image bears a certain resemblance to the butterfly as well, a reference to the process of transformation and unfolding. Meanwhile, the shiny pearls seem to vibrate with songs that come from deep within a mysterious other world, and the vast green waters indicate the deep connection to the heart and the realm of feelings and emotions. The square reminds us that reality is more of a multi-layered experience than an objective absolute. Try this. Go inside yourself and reflect for a moment on your life. What stands out in this instant? Can you appreciate whatever the universe is bringing you? Can you recognize the gifts that all experiences hold, even the ones you perceive as being negative? Can you be excited about the valuable lessons these experiences bring and celebrate them? Yeah, it seems like you are very much on the go, and it seems like you also take on a lot all at once, a lot of responsibilities, or like doing a lot of chores or errands at once. This definitely is a stack that feels like multitaskers, which I think can make things jumbled as well. So you just gotta be able to bring more balance, like complete things. Don't just start one thing and then stop and move on to something else. Try to also tackle things one at a time if you can, or at least more than you're doing now. But I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 1A, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, you can like the video down below. You can comment down below if you resonate with this stack and provide any updates in the future if you like. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. You can look at the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel. And I also have an ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, that you can check out down below in the video description. Thank you so much again, 1A. Take care. Hello, TB, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled here are the Hierophant in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Nine of Cups in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse, and of course the only upright cards are the Ten of Pentacles upright and the Ten of Cups upright. Also, it's funny how the Nine of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Cups upright are mirroring each other here. And then for the Oracle cards, we have Swan, Grace, Appreciate the beauty inside and all around you, and 35, Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. 35 is also my life path number, and that condenses down to 8. I will read in the guidebooks in a little bit, but I just want to start off with this, as in, sorry, I was looking at the tarot cards. So we can start the tarot cards. The Hierophant is Taurus in tarot. It represents Taurus, and all of the cards pretty much indicate to me that if I were to answer this, it's that no, you do not utilize your time effectively and or wisely. And I would say that that's because a lot of you are very lazy, and also a lot of you lack motivation. I feel that for the things that do interest you, or the things you do want to work on, or the things you do want to do in life, you still try to do the bare minimum. And I think what those bottom two cards indicate is that you'll put the most effort toward family endeavors or family gatherings. Everything else you don't really have much motivation to do. Also, I'm looking at the swan now. Swans very much can represent like Libras and Tauruses in my opinion, so that makes sense. But because both are represented by or ruled by Venus in astrology. And it's funny though, because with this laziness, I also feel like those bottom two cards can indicate that you don't really have to put much effort into the things you work on or the things you're doing in life. It feels like things easily flow to you. I wonder if a lot of you are actually very lucky people, or you at least present that way. I wonder if a lot of you too, what this spread can indicate is that how much money you spend doesn't align with how much work you put in. That can be both a good and bad thing. Some people, like, maybe you have a well-paying job, but you just do the bare minimum and you're still able to afford all these different things or a nice lifestyle. But for those of you who that doesn't resonate, that can be more dangerous. You could, be in debt. So I would say especially look at your finances more and make sure that everything is looking good, even if you do tend to be more lucky or whatever. Because for those of you who spend a lot, but you don't make enough to match with how much you're spending, that can, again, just put you into a sticky situation. So I think you need to put more effort into the things you are doing in life, and you need to apply yourself a lot more. For some reason, with the Queen of Cups reversed, it seems like a lot of you are very emotionally detached from the things you're doing in day-to-day life. Be careful about any depressed feelings that may arise, because this can indicate not only lack of motivation, but just a lack of wanting to experience life, which is also why I think it's beautiful that the Swan card is here. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some nihilism within the stack. Like, you're just like, well, it's just day in, day out. I'm living today, and then I'm going to live tomorrow. So you're not using your time effectively, even if you think you get things done. Like, you do your taxes, you go to work on time. There's a sense of monotony to your day. And also that can make sense with these bottom two cards if you're just like working day in and day out for like saving for the future or providing for your family. Then I think a lot of you only focus on those things as opposed to your own wants and needs, and as opposed to, I think a lot of you worry about the destination more than the journey. Thinking about the journey and how that can still be fruitful and helpful, because if you don't enjoy the journey, then the end goal isn't as sweet, right? So this also indicates to me that a lot of you are just maybe very slow learners or very slow workers. So for some of you, maybe you do use your time effectively, but you just are very, very slow. But I'm still getting the sense that you could speed it up a bit. Like, I wonder if you're the type of person who needs a lot of breaks. Breaks and rest periods are completely great, and people should have those. But I think this is the group that's more likely to have those in excess. And I think, too, you're more likely to, again, just be overtaken by boredom. I think you're more likely to, if something is boring, not trying to juice it up or trying to add spice or life to what you're doing. I think you just, allow it to be boring. And then I wouldn't be surprised if this is the stack that's more likely to sulk. And I also think, in terms of using time effectively, I think Page of Wands in reverse can indicate that it's hard for you to stay on task sometimes. And with the Hierophant in reverse too, I think a lot of you do things in an unconventional way. So sometimes that can be effective. But because this spread is reading as laziness to me, I think you need to put more emotional input into what you're doing so that you actually care about what you're doing and you're caring about an end product, or you're caring about the relationships you're forming, whatever it is. Because it just lacks energy, it lacks enthusiasm, the spread does, and it just makes it seem like you don't really care about many things, and that you, again, just do more of the bare minimum. I feel like a lot of you don't really know what interests you as well. And when it comes to the things that do interest you, you still find a way to almost be negative about the situation, or to find a reason to not put any effort in. I think a lot of you have probably lived many different lifetimes, which is also why it can be hard for you to be motivated or to be excited at all about things in your life that you're up to, that you're doing. Something that I think could help you is incorporating, like if you have long-term goals that you're just working for and you're just like day in and day out type of vibe, try to just find something that isn't like a goal that's more small. Working towards small goals can get you more excited in the long run, as opposed to just focusing on end goals. And also, I would say that if you're not doing anything right now that makes you happy, that you should try to find that. A lot of you, I think, are just unhappy with your circumstances, but there are things that you can change. So if, say, you're at a job that you don't like, try to find something different, even if that means completely different career paths, you know, like going back to school, or if that means just finding a different work environment. But I actually feel like it's going to be a lot more smaller changes that will be helpful and beneficial for you to be more effective with your time and enjoy your time. A lot of what being effective with your time for you includes is enjoying your time and what you're doing. So let's go into the guidebook. Swan. Appreciate the beauty inside and all around you, and it says grace. Look up at the stars tonight, smell the fragrances in the air, greet the sunrise tomorrow, hear the sounds of Mother Nature's creatures as she awakens for the day. Look and really see the beauty and elegance of everything, from the tiniest leaf to the most gigantic tree, and all that's in between. Don't judge what you see or experience as good or bad. Instead, appreciate the precious uniqueness of the diverse elements that make up this wonderful world in which we exist. You really need to get outdoors in nature to deepen this experience of appreciation. Mother Earth is your true mother. You're birthed from her through your biological mother. Honor her by simply reveling in the remarkable tapestry of her diverse expressions, and as you do, breathe deeply and slowly. You and your world are intimately interwoven, and you're alive in that world. Appreciate your own beauty in the magnificent being that you are as you revel in the elegant exquisiteness of all that you see, hear, and feel. Additional associations: peace, elegance, purity, innocence. Yeah, really start practicing gratitude and being grateful for what you have and grateful for what you could have in the future as well. That will really help a lot of you, I think. Let's go in here. I passed by it. Okay. 35. Perception. Perception can be described as the interpretation of that which has entered into our awareness. Upon first glance, the perception activation presents what seems to be chaos and motion, but when we take a better look, we find perfect alignment and synchronicity between the different aspects. We find balance and harmony. The sharp blades of clear perception cut through the layers of illusion that cover the space between the world of spirit and the world of matter. Together, the blades are neither round nor square, indicating that they are effective in both worlds. Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all, balance and infinity, purity and freedom. Within this image, they also represent our connection to a larger universe and the many planets that revolve around the realities that exist beyond our own. We think we have a clear perception of the reality that lies behind the blades, but we discover that the waters of our emotional and physical world are mirrored perfectly by the sky, our spiritual nature. They are exactly the same, as above, so below. The square border represents the form-based reality of our earthbound life, with the lights on the corners, while the lights on the corners remind us of our ability to reach far beyond these illusionary three-dimensional boundaries at any time we choose. When combined with awareness, skill, and precision, these perception blades can cut through illusions that otherwise keep us locked in place. The energy of perception reminds us that the concept itself is biased. Our consciousness determines our perception, and there is no absolute truth in what we perceive. There are always more layers to uncover, more insights to be revealed. The blades of clarity cut through illusion and expand our perception of reality, revealing a path toward harmony and peace in our inner world and in the world around us. The dark border around the edge indicates the vast and deep universe that oftentimes seems mysterious and dark. The blues indicate the clarity of expression that is needed to cut through the illusions of our perceived reality. The red edges indicate our solid foundation in the physical world while in body here on earth. The yellows and golds indicate the inner power that is needed to create a reality that matches our perception of our inner and outer worlds combined. Try this. Close your eyes and think about where the edges of your comfort zones lie. Are you willing to try something new, or do you prefer to stay in your familiar routines? When is the last time you did something completely out of your comfort zone? Yeah, I feel like, again, a lot of monotony here, so doing something different and new could be helpful for you too. Go inside yourself and witness how your perception of reality can change by just changing your point of focus from the outer to the inner. Yeah, really going inward and analyzing how you're feeling, because I think some of you really don't do that enough, and maybe you don't realize if there is like a fog hanging around you. But I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 2B, for watching and listening to this video. Hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video if you liked it. You can comment down below if you resonate with the stack at all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. And you can check out the other timeless pick a card reading videos located all throughout my channel. I have an ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR, that you can check out down in the video description below. Thank you so much again, and take care. Hello 3C, and welcome to your part of the pick a card reading video. The cards pulled are Page of Swords upright, the Empress in reverse, Four of Cups upright, Six of Wands upright, Five of Cups upright, and Ace of Wands in reverse. And then the oracle cards here are Pelican, Forgiveness, Let Go of Your Judgments, and 2, Sacral Chakra. The frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, supports our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. So, are you good with your time? Do you use your time wisely? I would say it's 50-50. I think a lot of you really want to make something of yourselves in life, and so I do see that you have a lot of ideas for things you want to do, but I think that you also at the same time spend too much time thinking about these plans as opposed to actually doing anything about the ideas that you have. And I think that's also because with the Empress in reverse here and the Five of Cups upright, and of course they're mirroring each other here, but I feel like you lack the confidence to do what it is you want to do in this lifetime, or anything in particular. Like, you just lack the confidence, and you lack, I mean, really, confidence is the big key word here. You're lacking confidence. Even the Ace of Wands in reverse shows that. It shows that you have ideas. You put good time into ideas and planning and processes, but when it comes to actually acting out your ideas or taking any action toward goals or forming relationships, whatever it is, I see that there's a roadblock, and that roadblock is your lack of confidence, and I imagine for a lot of you a lower self-esteem as well. I think it's interesting because I think with the the Six of Wands upright, I think you crave not in a bad way, but I think you crave the attention of other people, but more specifically the validation of other people to let you know if you're doing something right or that you're a good person, whatever it is. But with the Four of Cups reverse, I think you spend more time alone into yourself and criticizing yourself. So if anybody outside of you, even if they provide good feedback, I feel like you just find a way to nitpick at yourself and think that you're not doing enough. Some of you could lead to exhaustion or burnout because of that, where it's like you're putting in effort, but then maybe you scrap your ideas, or you like take 10 steps back, the saying like 10 steps forward or like 11 steps back, or even just 10 steps back. I see you doing that actually. Like if you were to take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, where it's like you make progress, but then you cut it. You don't think what you're doing is good enough, or you put in effort, but then you also get clouded by, some of you also get clouded by other people's perceptions. And so because of that, I think you also sometimes use your time doing what other people expect of you to do or want for you to do. And then you aren't very happy with the end result, but you just feel like it's something you need to do. There's a lot of conformity here, where I don't think a lot of you are very happy with maybe some of the recent decisions you've made, or maybe this is a lifelong thing, right, where you're like this, where you could be very people-pleasing, and I see you feeling very stuck. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of women or gender non-conforming people, feminine-presenting people have chosen this stack. I mean, we have sacral chakra too, where it's like feeling you need to fit into and conform within society's standards of what it means to be a woman, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you relate to that in some way. But either, or even just any gender conforming roles, even if you're a man or if you're trans, like whatever, non-binary, I feel like there's a certain way that people expect you to look, to act, to talk. And I just think there's a lot of pressure that you place on yourself, even if other people place pressure on you. I think it's more, you have a responsibility to not intake all of that pressure. So you need to try and find ways to alleviate that pressure and not take it all on. I really have to say, I think this is a very creative group, not just because of the sacral chakra, that does help, but as soon as I pull that Page of Swords, I'm like, for some reason, Page of Swords isn't really creative energy necessarily, but I feel like a lot of you have had to be very quick on your feet. And I feel like this is a group of survivors too. You've been through stuff, but there's a lot of creative energy that I'm picking up on. And I think part of it is that you're not using your time wisely if you're not putting enough time towards your creative endeavors. Or even if you have like a 9-to-5 job, like a desk job, I think something that could help you during the day or whenever you're at work would be to still incorporate creativity, even if that means like bringing a coloring book to work and working on that like on one of your breaks, or like in between phone calls, or in between helping people in whatever way. And I feel like a lot of you are meant to do something creative with your life, whether it's a side hobby or a main job. But it just feels like, with the Six of Wands too, it feels like maybe a lot of you have been waiting for your big break. So it seems almost like you've been putting so much time and effort. You're using your time effectively to work towards these things, but now it feels like maybe you're taking a step back and you're like, I don't know if this is something that's sustainable. And I see spirits telling you to, if some of you do need to have that break, right? It's okay to take a break or multiple different breaks throughout your life and figure out what it is you truly want and need. But think about what inspires you. Think about what sparks your creativity, and think about what ultimately makes you happy at the end of the day. Sacral chakra is also very, it reminds me of doing things that heal your inner child. So doing things that could heal your inner child would be helpful for you as well. So in terms of being effective, using your time, to sum that up before I go to the oracle cards, you're good at planning and having ideas, thinking of things that you want to do. The thinking process is all good to go. The actual acting, taking part, like doing things physically in this realm, is where I think a lot of you struggle. Think about when people manifest, but they don't actually work toward their goals. For some of you, that will relate as well, where it's like you can't just sit there and think or constantly change your mind about things. You have to really sit there and intuitively feel and think about what sparks your passions and then work toward those things. Don't suppress anything that you've been setting aside that you don't think is meant for you. If it really does feel meant for you, then work towards those goals or those dreams, those visions, even if other people say that they're impossible. Try not to let other people's perceptions or opinions of you or your life situation be the determining factor for what you decide to do. Okay, let's go into the guidebook now. Let's go to here. Where is it? It's almost here. Okay, Pelican. Forgiveness. Let go of your judgments. Each time you judge yourself or others, you immediately create the illusion of separation. Separation from your environment, from other human beings, and most critically, separation from the Creator and all of creation. Immersing yourself in this illusion creates pain that manifests as hurt, anger, or even attack in words or deed. And if you stop and reflect, you'll find that what you judge in others is really a projection of a shadow aspect of yourself. Therefore, the source of these judgments is not just contained in the other, it's something in yourself that you may not be aware of. I think a lot of you are definitely hypercritical of yourselves. Once you realize how judgments separate, there's an opportunity to forgive. First, the other person for his or her perceived transgressions or shortcomings, then yourself as you identify the shadow aspect in you that you had projected onto this individual. In the light of this realization, all illusion of separation vanishes. This is true forgiveness, not an empty mantra you repeat over and over again in order to support some false notion of forgiveness, but a genuine release of any and all judgments. When you've forgiven, this act returns you to a state of love, acceptance, and peacefulness. You'll know when this has happened because you feel the natural and tranquil state of unity with the Creator and all of creation. Additional associations: grace, unselfishness, self-sacrifice, and cooperation. And then let's go to the guidebook for number 2. Okay. There we go. 2. Sacral chakra. The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles that intersect at the middle of each circle, creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all the separate components of the universe work together. Yep, so this relates to Pelican because it was talking also about separate versus togetherness, so finding a way to connect with your community may be important right now too. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connection as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. I think also this relates to your connectedness to your creative side and your inner child. The color orange is associated with the 2nd or sacral chakra, located just below the navel. It is linked to our creativity, sexuality, and emotional world. Orange encourages movement and connection with others. It has a freeing effect on the body and mind, stimulating creative thinking, abundance, success, and appetite. Its sense is taste. Try this. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let go of your breath with an audible sigh. Now bring your attention to your emotions. How do you feel? Are you expressing yourself the way you desire in your daily life? Are you inspired? What do you do to express your creativity? How about your sexuality? Perhaps it is time for a new project or love affair. Yeah, some of you too, maybe you've just been waiting. Like, all of this definitely makes sense for you. I will say too that some of you maybe have just been in limbo, like you haven't been feeling creatively inspired lately, and this is saying that if you just go inward, it'll help you. And if some of you do need that rest period to recharge and get back to that creative flow state, then take that time. But I will say spending too much time in that state of just being disconnected can actually make it harder to connect when you come back to. So, is there anything else I want to say? Sexual energy too is indicated here with the Ace of Wands in reverse. Some of you could be spending too much time worrying about love life and attracting a partner to you as well, or maintaining a relationship. I would really focus on how that relationship is beneficial to you in any way, or it fulfills you, makes you happy. And if it isn't, yeah, really take a hard look at that. Some of you maybe aren't being treated the best. And also think about how maybe this is a time where you shouldn't focus so much of your energy on romantic relationships, okay? I will leave it at that. Thank you so much, 3C, for watching and listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can like the video if you liked it. You can comment down below if you resonate with the stack at all. You can subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. And you can check out the other Timeless Pick a Card reading videos located all throughout my channel. You can check out my ASMR channel, Brittney's ASMR. That will be linked in the description down below. Thank you so much again, 3C, and take care.